Alright, apologies for the casual get-up, especially on the makeup video, but I am tired. Getting to the end of this series. We're almost there. Almost there. We're almost there. I'll tell you, I'm pretty excited when this is over. But yeah, I don't know anything about makeup, but I can give you my best Stephen A. Smith impression though, because I'm about to rattle off on this art form as if I know anything about it at all. And to be fair to Stephen A., and to be fair to me, the way he describes himself as a guy that doesn't understand everything about the minutia of what's going on, but understands the end result. And I think I have the ability to at least do that after the amount of films that I've seen. Of course, I'm not an expert in this field at all, so if anyone knows more than me, please let me know in the comments. Tell me some books to read so I can educate myself more. This is another one of those art forms in film that deserves more attention, and I hope by the end of next year I'll have better equipment to critique these films. But for now, let's just talk about the nominees. A Different Man. Neurofibromatosis, being a real condition, requires a lot of thought in the makeup process, not only to get it realistic, but to portray it in a way that's not a disservice to the community. I think one of the best parts about this film is it's clinically not a disservice to the neurofibromatosis community as far as I'm aware, and that starts with a fundamentally ethical approach to the makeup process. There was no going over the top, no exaggerated features that aren't part of the diagnosis, none of that. I know that sounds like the bare minimum, but come on. This is Hollywood we're talking about. It was also just technically so well done, it never felt like a prosthetic Sebastian Stan was wearing at all. Nosferatu. A lot of these are going to be unbelievable transformations, and of course the main topic of this film here is that Bill Skarsgård looks absolutely unrecognizable as Count Orlok. He looks so clearly decrepit and pathetic, in a good way. It fit what the movie was going for tonally, and a lot of the side characters were really well done too. Bonus points for the mustache. The fact that they included a mustache has to be taken into consideration. Queer. When I saw that this production took a lot from the 40s and 50s, I wasn't just talking about the cinematography and the production design. The makeup was radiant and reflective, giving these stars a shine in the same way that you would expect to see Jimmy Stewart or something like that. It added so much to the love letter of the time, and I think it even enhanced these performances to a certain degree. I have to imagine that as an actor, it becomes easier to transform into a character once you see yourself inside the character's makeup. Good makeup can transform you into a different person, as I believe it was capable of doing here. The Apprentice. I think a lot of what I said about Sebastian Stan's performance can be said in conjunction with what they did in the makeup department here. It's not a silly impression, it's a real interpretation that tries to take itself seriously. Instead of a personality, this feels like a real guy with real thoughts and insecurities. For this film to work, it's tantamount that the makeup is approached correctly, and I think what they did here worked great for what they were going for. The Brutalist. Something I want to discuss with this nomination is that many of these awards contenders are rewarded for the most of something, like the most makeup, the most costumes, the most production design. It's not often enough that we nominate the areas of the industry that are just technically good at what they're doing. And this film here, I feel like is technically operating on all cylinders. The disheveled nature of the characters and how you see them change throughout time is a critical element of what the makeup's doing, and the way these characters treat themselves says a lot about how they're feeling emotionally. The Substance. You know, that being said, many of the films I'm nominating contain a lot of effects. This film is part of that for sure, but be for real, how could this film not get nominated? It was inventive, stylish, pulpy, thematically resonant, offered a lot to say about the characters, and tied the whole film together. For a film that talks about obsession over looks, of course it had to look good, but it really wasn't just the crazy body horror that makes it great. Each scene where it looks like you've jumped into the uncanny valley looks incredibly unrealistic because of the technical ability of the makeup department. I think as far as makeup goes, this was a really great year. Looking back at the nominations, it wasn't just the amount of films with lots of prosthetics, but the way they were used which particularly hit me. Each of these films brought a different style of makeup to the art form, and the diversity was really satisfying to watch. It's a shame only one of these can win because there's so many films that are deserving. But what can you do? The winner of the Golden Turtle Award goes to... The Substance. It has to be. There's no other film that highlights it more, uses it with so much variety, or utilizes it within the context of the story than this film here. A lot of its visual charm was in its ability to exercise this stuff, and it was incredibly satisfying to watch it deliver. Special shout out to Queer, Nosferatu, and A Different Man. I'm sharing the love today. They can all have a silver turtle. But that's going to do it for me. I ranted for like 3 minutes in the last 2 videos, so I'm going to keep it short today. And I'm just going to say, keep it chill, Bill. And I'm going to do my laundry now.